Hello, race fans. It's another Race Face Drive-In 5 podcast here on raceface.tv. Jacob Seelman on the right side of your screen as the host. On the other side of our screen, Taegan Knowland is back with us. It's been a quiet May for you. You've been kind of settled in, getting ready. I know you're excited about the fact that you get to go back here in just a couple of weeks to Charlotte Motor Speedway on the quarter mile and get set for another run with race driven performance in the Bandolero at the Cook Out Summer Shootout. Ran the full schedule last year, got a top five in points. What are you hoping to accomplish this time going back in? I know getting to victory lane is something that's very high on your list, but I feel like after what you did last year in your first real shootout attempt, are you eyeing a championship? Is that do we think that's possible to fight for?
I mean, maybe it's gonna be interesting, but as you said, my goals are probably just to finish well. One thing that held us back from contending last year was getting consistent, good top five, top seven finishes. It was a lot where I would wreck out because I'm pushing too hard to go try and fight for a podium. This year, I'm just trying to settle. If I have a top five, I'm gonna try and take for that. But that's probably my main goal is to work on is to make sure I get good, consistent finishes and not push too hard and damage the car.
You know, there's a few guys, Mark Martin being one of them, that said a lot of years ago that if you've got a fifth place car, it's better to finish fifth with it than finish 20th with it, right?
Yep, we learned that a bit the hard way last year.
So, what did you learn? Obviously, you got to have a lot of laps last summer at the Charlotte Quarter Mile. What are some of the things you learned getting those consistent laps and that consistent track time that maybe you weren't sure about going in about the racetrack, or some things that you feel like will make you a better driver this summer?
Probably just being a bit patient. Like that's how it is every race. But I mean, last year and years before that, in quarter midgets, you go from heat races. Those are like 10 laps, and then like 20 lap features. So it's jam packed, and there's rarely any cautions. But I mean, these bandos when it's two eyed racing for 3 4 laps on the start, we don't get that in quarter midgets. So just being patient, waiting for the right time to make a move, and waiting for the right time to go and win. Obviously, you don't want to be racing hard, giving people a bumper on the first lap, second lap, trying to race for the lead when there's 20 laps in a race.
Were you surprised a little bit at just how aggressive and how hard fought every position is at the shootout, even when you're in the middle of the field?
Oh yeah, definitely. There's a ton of battles that happen there everywhere on the track. There's probably gonna be a battle going on. It's a hard foul. It's a small track, so all the cars are bunched up. It's very fun, and yeah, it was very surprising to see how hard you have to drive it there to be on the offensive side and defensive side, trying to hold positions and gain positions.
For you, you talked about the goal get being consistency. If you can build that consistency through the first part of the year, I know you had one or two runs late in last year's shootout where you were up there fighting among the podium guys. If you can be patient and get the right opportunity, do you feel like you've learned what you need to potentially battle for a win this summer? Because I know that's something that, hey, if the cards fall right, it seemed like you had some of the speed once you got up there to be able to do that.
Guys at Racer and Performance in the garage, they can bring us good cars every week at the shootout to where we can contend. We saw it last year. We got second place finish. That was just being patient and waiting for the right time. We got late restart caution, took a move heading into two, and came out of two with second place and came to the checkered. So yeah, just make sure we're staying patient and just waiting for the right time to go for that move.
Knowing that you have not been able to race this month, that your last race in the Bando was Spring Nationals in the middle of April, How eager are you just to get back on the racetrack? I know you've been you're not good at sitting around waiting to put the helmet back on. I know you've been finishing school the month of May, but I get the sense you're really, really raring to go.
Yeah, I've been waiting. I've been iRacing. I've been on that track all week long. I'm super excited to get back into the car. Those cars, they're really fun to drive, and especially Charlotte being my favorite track. Now we go out there 10 weeks in a row and battle, maybe even for some wins and some podiums.
Since you live out in Kansas and don't necessarily have the ability to put in as many laps with the Bandolero as some of the other guys do, and really since the summer shootout is the only Legends and Bando racing that happens on the quarter mile at Charlotte, how important have the laps on iRacing and you being able to do that, at least to have the rhythm of the track back underneath you? How important has that been?
Oh yeah, definitely. I've been preparing ever since middle of April from spring series, just trying to get laps on the sim. It's very important, especially for shootout. But whenever I get on the track, obviously I'm a hopefully get a hang of it and not wreck as much. But yeah, the sim it's a amazing help to try and get back out there, especially as you said, I live far away from Charlotte. Closest track for me is around 6 hours. So yeah, definitely. Sim's a huge help being out here.
Well, Tegan, I know you're eager. I know we're looking forward to it for you. And I know it's going to be exciting to have all the fans be able to tune in throughout the summer through Flow Racing with the subscription to be able to watch the stream. I know you mentioned Race Driven Performance, but I know there's other sponsors and people that help make your race program possible and want to give you a minute to shout out to them before we get into shootout season.
Yeah, I want to give a thanks to Thrivent Financial, DC Lawn Care, Royal Signs, ATP Restoration, Jeremiah Bullfrogs Bar and Grill, Daredevil Coffee, Friends of Jacqueline Foundation, and Qdoba of Topeka, Manhattan, and Junction City.
All right, Tegan, we're excited for you. We're hoping for some great updates once we get into next month and have a couple of shootout races to watch. So, absolutely the best of luck to you. And we will talk to you on the next one of these, hopefully about some great runs to start your year.
Yeah, thank you.
That's Taegan Knowland. My name's Jacob Seelman. This has been Race Face Drive in 5. Stay tuned next time for more on all of our Race Face brand development drivers and keep it tuned to raceface.tv every day for all the latest on them and from around the world of motorsports.